Hello, welcome into this mystery reading. I'm Molly, the QuantumLeapQueen. Thanks for joining me on this reading. These readings are a timeless resource for you to come utilize whenever you need some extra nourishment in your life. So trust that if you found this reading today, there is a message here for you. I am going to set the intention as always to give you the best messages that you need to hear today. And I am starting with the Pause Tarot. So let's take a look and see what we need to discuss today. Okay, we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands reversed, and the Six of Swords. Ooh, I love this. I love this combo. I feel there's a message here saying that you've gotten to this point in what feels like your work, your dedication to yourself, to your life with the Eight of Pentacles. It's like you're so dedicated now to just like showing up and doing work for you that helps to benefit you and your life, your skill sets, and whatnot. The Seven of Swords reverse says you don't feel the need to like prove yourself anymore in what you're doing. Like you've gotten so comfortable with just showing up and doing the process and the trial and error and knowing mistakes are necessary and all the things that like just help you to show up and just show up like into like and work and do the things necessary for you to build. You're wanting to build something here, whether it's like a life that you truly love or like a career path that fulfills you. There's just something where you're just not afraid to like just show up and do it any longer. That's wanting to be said with the Six of Swords. It's like it feels like it's still in the building process, like you don't quite have the manifestation of it, or it's not to its completion as you're picturing it, but you're still showing up and taking the journey regardless and recognizing like you're just enjoying the work. Even if you don't enjoy every minute or every day of it, it's still like you're building something here that you feel passionate about. And you've gotten rid of the need to prove why you're doing it or prove to anyone else that it's worthwhile. Like, I don't know, there's something like really powerful in what you are creating here and showing up for. That's what I see. What else? What else for my friend? I have the Five of Swords. And what with that? I have the Knight of Wands. The Ten of Swords and the Eight of Wands reversed. Okay. It's funny, it's giving me a lot of like, speaking of like trial and error, it's just like telling me a story of how much you've been through to get to this point where like you just don't care, you know, like not that you don't care, but it's like you don't care about how things look or appear to others like as much as you used to. It's so much more about, does this fill up my soul? Does this honor my inner child? Does this honor my 5-year-old self and my 80-year-old self? Like it's become so much more about what fills up your cup without like anyone else's input involved, you know? Not in a way of we're looking past other people's like, you know, not that we're not caring for others. It's not about that. It's just like you're giving yourself finally the radical responsibility of your own life. And yeah, I'm just seeing the story of like the things that you've been through. Like it's definitely not been a perfect journey. There's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of messiness, a lot of trial and error. But at the end of the day, it was all like ingredients and fuel for you to do what you're doing now. So it's just acknowledging that and a reminder to be grateful and thankful for those challenging moments, because they truly did give you the medicine and the things that you needed to now do what you're doing. And yeah, at the end of the day, you didn't lay down and play victim to life circumstances. You got back up on your horse and, you know, you took it by the reins, and you still move forward with heart and soul and a willingness to just do your best. Like, that's what I feel. Do what you can, like, just experience. Like, that's so much of what I feel like is coming out, wanting to be said. So what else for my friend here? What else? I have the King of Pentacles. I feel like all this work is really gonna is gonna be worth it. Like, there's really gonna be, it's really gonna take off as far as like the Page of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Like, okay, here's the thing. I really feel like your work is going to pay off, like, big time. Like, I really feel like you're going to have the physical manifestations of the things that you're desiring and building towards right now. But the Page of Wands, like, looking at the King of Pentacles like this, I just feel like it's a message, like, to always keep that beginner's mindset, though. Like, never give away too much of your power into, like, thinking that you've done it all, for example. Not that you're doing that. It's just a reminder that even when it starts showing up, like the manifestations, to keep that beginner's mindset, that curiosity mindset, that, like, I'm still figuring it out mindset, because we always are, of the Page of Wands. And I feel like that's going to even bring you in more success. And because otherwise, if you didn't have that, I feel like the success could easily, like, come and then go, because you don't know how to truly hold it, or it's like ignorance gets in the way, and then life, you know, takes you down a notch or something. But it's like, that's where I feel like your dream is going to be, like, constantly expanding and growing. And yeah, so that's the beautiful thing of the Page of Wands being here, just very much like keeping that beginner's mindset, even when things are working out. Like, there's always more to learn, there's always more growth to have, or maybe you pivot, but, like, it's always, you're never, like, done. And I think that's the beauty that wants to be said here. It's like, yeah, not giving your power away to, like, what you just, you know, what you think is done, because it's never done. I hope that's making sense. So that's what I'm getting from the tarot. I'm going to move on to some oracle messages now. Let's start with the animal deck. This is the deck. Away from my regular watchers, I'm back in Minnesota now for the summer. I've been in Mexico for over 6 months, and now I'm coming back to Minnesota for probably about 5 months or so. Best message for my friend from this deck. Surrender to receive. That's this message. Surrender to receive. This is the otter. Otter teaches us about the feminine power of reception through surrender. In the sea, otter is often floating on her back, stomach open to the sky, receiving the sun. This is an extremely vulnerable position. To be free from worry and not distracted by what may lurk under in the waters below is a liberated state of being. The medicine of this card directly asks you to be patient, accept uncertainty, fully trusting that you will be taken care of no matter what. Be wary of the mind chatter insisting that you need to know the outcome now. Universal law does not resonate with the ego's desperate need for instant gratification. Something is waiting to be received, but it can only be accepted if you open and allow it. When you are open to receiving, you become a magnet for that which you seek. What is the expectation or problem you are holding onto so tightly? Imagine that issue is a tightly closed fist. When you unclench your fist, you open Your open palm is able to receive what life has in store for you. Let go of the need to control what you cannot control. Surrender the idea of how you need the outcome to look. Otter's power in the sea is her sensual flexibility. She bends and yields with the currents. Allow the moment to unfold without forcing it into the box of limited human perception. Otter swims in the dark, mysterious sea of the unknown. It is here that she receives all her nourishment. Otter's medicine is to surrender and swim with the current of uncertainty and receive something far greater than your immediate and limited desires. Yeah, and I feel like this is playing into what wanted to be said for you in the tarot. That you're just showing up and doing the work even if you don't always know where it's leading, where the outcome is going. The Six of Swords. You don't really know. You're just here for the journey. But surrendering our need for control, to know the outcome, to get that instant gratification, those are things you're really letting go of now and in the future. But for sure, this is something to come up and to look at within yourself. Are you still holding on to control? Were you still desiring, a specific outcome? We get a lot happier, I feel, when we let go of the expectations of how we think things should be. And also, like, knowing, this plays into the feminine aspect of intuition, but like just knowing what's right for you and what's not. But the comfortability of not knowing, like, that's a skill. That's something that's developed over time. And yeah, I love the image of having like the dark, mysterious waters and you're the otter on top and you're just flowing. You're just flowing with trusting. You're trusting like what's underneath the surface. That's what I feel the game is. It's the game of trust and faith. So much so. So that's that message. I'm gonna pull next from the Moonology deck. This is the deck. Best message from the moon for my friend today. You are good enough. The full moon in Virgo. You could be maybe like self-esteem issues or something. How you see yourself is really showing up in the energy. I'm curious to see what wants to be said. The full moon in Virgo. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-efficating? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash. Just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should be then more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. Which that is what you are doing. You are finding that balance between, hard work, play, and then also like the balance of like how you see yourself and also, this combo of the Page of Wands with the King of Pentacles. It is that combo of like knowing you're good enough and like when the results show up, it's like still not wavering from that. It doesn't matter what the results are. Like you're good enough as you are. And that's just something I feel that gets stronger over time as you're doing your craft and you detach from like outcome and meaning and you're just doing it because it lights you up. Those things I feel bring in a deeper sense of like all the worth you truly are. And yeah, So perhaps that's resonating. Okay, I gotta move on here. We're gonna pull finally from the I Create My Reality deck. I always have the decks listed below in the description. Best message for my friend from this deck. It says, I am grateful. Gratitude is the attitude. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. When you are grateful for everything around you, even the things you may not understand at the moment, you improve your satisfaction with life. Be grateful for all that you have done and for all that you still want to do. What matters most is not where something comes from, it's what you do with it. Live in gratitude. So that is the message. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is a key fundamental ingredient. Not only does it feel good to be grateful, but then we're literally like magnets for it, for the miracles, because our vibrations are just higher when we're in gratitude. So it's like a reminder is as you're doing your work, you're doing your thing, you're staying in that state of gratitude, like grateful for the opportunity to do your thing, grateful for life. There's so many things in your life you can be grateful for on a moment-to-moment basis. And then that makes you more powerful. It takes you out of victim. All the things that help you to create then in your life. So that concludes this reading, friend. I hope it brought you nourishment and confirmation for exactly where you are in your journey. Come on back whenever you need more nourishment. My channel is a library of mystery readings. Just pick one simply based on your intuition. And I have my link down below for readings and coaching and my social medias. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next reading. Bye.